Hey, Guilford, what's going on? How we doing? It's homecoming. It was so exciting to walk down the pathway. I used to live in Mary Hobbs, and just to walk, yeah, Hobbs girls, and just relive some moments. So it's very much the same as James and I were talking about earlier, but also very different too. So I'm excited to be here. As Megan mentioned, I am a butt coach, which is my fancy way of saying success coach. And I recently published a book called The Biggest Butt in the World. This is butt with one T, not two T's. If you go on the internet and you look up biggest butt in the world with two T's, you're going to find something else. It's not my book, okay? So I have warned you. But the biggest butt in the world is about the excuses that prevent us from living our best lives possible. And so my short talk today is about living butt-free. So living without those excuses, living our limitless lives. And I want to start by stepping into the future. Let's do some time traveling. And so for my contemporaries who kind of graduated around my time, I want us to step into the era of when we have grandchildren. It's a long ways away, okay? So let's just say that. But I want you to think about going to a museum with your grandchildren. And you're walking around, you're looking at the artifacts and exhibits, and all of a sudden you walk up to this display and you have to explain what this is. It's a telephone. And so your grandkids say to you, well, what is a telephone? And so it's something that's been very important to you and to your growing up, and that was our form of communication. If you wanted to get in touch with me and I was not, in your presence, you would call me on the telephone. And it was located in my house. And if I was not there, you'd reach my grandma, who was an answering machine. But her messages were, that boy called, or that girl called. No time or date stamp, no additional information. That's all you got. So then your grandkids would say, well, what else does it do? And you say, well, it sits on top of the telephone book with all of the numbers that you would need to dial. And they'd be completely appalled by this and shocked. And so when we think about communication and how things have changed from the telephone, I put it into context of Guilford's history in that Alexander Graham Bell got the patent for the first commercial use telephone back in 1876, about 39 years after Guilford College formed the New Garden boarding school. And really, the functionality of the telephone did not change over the 100 years kind of after that. Pretty much stayed the same. Now, it improved in its reach. The equipment improved, but the functionality stayed the same. This was voice-to-voice communication, clear and simple. And then some folks in their residence hall rooms or in their office cubicles or in their cars thought, I would like to have my voice-to-voice communication device do something different. I'd like to use it as a calculator. How about that? How about I'm able to use my voice-to-voice communication device to look up information on the internet? How about I'm able to film videos in high definition, send them in high definition, text messages? I want my telephone to do that. And so they dared to believe that there was something different that they could do with a device that, for all intents and purposes, had fulfilled its purpose of voice-to-voice communication. And so what I want to challenge you with today is that you have those innovative ideas that those people had as well. You're no different from the people who thought, telephone, nah, I want navigation on that. I want to be able to find stuff with my telephone. I want to be able to talk to people when I'm not at home. And in our growing up, we lost the fearlessness to step out and to do those things, to create, to invent, to cure diseases. For some reason, we thought that, the rules did apply to us. and that we wouldn't have the ability to make change in a greater way. And so those are our buts. And so what's your but? What's the thing that stops you from changing the world? So in my work with students and young professionals over the years, these are the top buts that people come up with. But I don't have enough money. I would start that business, but I don't have enough money. I would, create this great opportunity, but I don't have enough time. But. Those are all the things that stop us. So in my last few minutes, I want to share with you some strategies that I learned, a lot of which I learned here at Guilford. Very simple stuff. This is not going to be groundbreaking. You're like, I've never heard of this before. You'll connect with these strategies that I've laid out to live butt-free, and it's something that I'm very passionate about in my life and work. So first, have an attitude of gratitude. So you may not have the fabulous dream car that you want, but you have to be thankful for the little putt-putt that gets you from A to B. I had a little putt-putt when I was here at Guilford, and it was the community car until a deer took it out. However, I was so grateful to have that vehicle and that we could share that car together. But you have to be grateful for what you have if you want to obtain more. So start there. Own the now. So often we're caught up in yesterday and tomorrow, and today is the only day that we can change. So in the book I say, the minutes to come are not here to contour, and the minutes already gone cannot be altered. So get out of the mode of living in another time frame. Yes, it's great to reflect. Yes, it's great to plan, but your action starts today, and so live in the now. Fully commit. Go all in every day. This is a tough one. This is a really tough one, especially if you're thinking, I'm going to lose 20 pounds for homecoming. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back fabulous. And then you start off day one, which is always Monday. You can never start any kind of fitness program on any other day. So Monday, you start off, and preferably the first of the month, and you're like, yes, got my eating plan. I'm going to do my workout, and you go all in that day. Tuesday is someone's birthday at the office. There's cake. I'll just have a little sliver. I'm still on my program. Wednesday, you're out. So fully commit every day. When you wake up in the morning, know that this is what you're going to do. You're all in. And sometimes throughout the day, especially in the beginning of any process, you're going to have to recommit as the day goes on, because about 2, 3 o'clock, that's when the cake comes out in the office. So you need to recommit at that point. Pay it forward. There's someone where you were who would love to be where you are. And specifically, as we think about homecoming and being back here at Guilford, there are students here who would love to be graduates. This is their dream, to get out of Guilford. And we're like, can we come back, please? If I could just go back in time. But it's time for us to reach back and to support those students and to pay it forward in everything that we do, because the more you receive, the more you're obligated to give. And so this brings me back to the telephone. Operate with vision and not just sight. So when the folks who were spearheading cell phone technology and they looked at the telephone, they operated with vision and not just sight. The reality of our time with the telephone was it. This is what we do. This is what we've always done. This is what we know. But to operate with vision is to say, I see that, but I also see that there's something greater that can be done with this device. I can do more. And so you have to start with the idea and the belief that that idea can turn into a navigation system on a wireless device, a computer in your pocket. So that's it. I thank you so much for your time, and keep kicking butts.